Well, as we near the end of Black History Month, there's a special place dedicated to experiencing the history of African Americans in Columbus, Ohio, and beyond.
As 10 TV's Angela Ann shows us, this unique museum is rooted behind the legacy of a Black-owned business more than a century old.
Drive by too quickly and you might miss this historical marker, leading you inside this nondescript building on Refugee Road.
So this is the museum.
This is the museum. It's the Columbus Museum of African American History and Culture.
Todd Wilson is the curator behind more than 2,700 unique items portraying everyday life of African Americans dating back to the year 1750.
This is an actual pay registry from 1864. This was during the Civil War. These are all former slaves that joined the Union Army to assist them in the cause against the Confederacy.
Wilson says every piece collected tells a story that's been lost over time. Pictures showing African American women in business and advertising, a platoon of World War I soldiers who fought in France, and shackles that Todd discovered at another museum but wanted in Columbus.
What most people think about when they think of black people in America, they only associate it with slavery, not knowing that the first recorded, and probably even before, of blacks in America was 1619. The fact of the matter is, for every, through the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the First World War, the Second War, everything that this country has ever done that was about the country, African Americans have been there.
How did this all come to be?
My family's history is we have 103 years that we're here in Columbus as a business. So my grandfather started a moving company back in 1921.
What started a century ago as Jacob & Sons is now Accelerated Laboratory Logistics, the largest mover of research institutions.
We're in places like NASA, Johnson Space Center, Ames Research Center, nuclear facilities, and locations throughout the United States. I don't think that anyone would have ever thought that, so we're very proud of that.
Wilson admits challenges come fast while growing a family business, but he says overcoming obstacles are the fabric of Black history, much like this piece, undated and unweathered.
When you look at it, it just looks like it says Quaker Oats with a black woman on it, but it's more than that. This was actually a bed spread that a black family made because they couldn't afford sheets or bed coverings, and they actually had to use these flour sacks put together to make an actual quilt to go on a bed. And that's the one thing about it. It gives people hope and the possibility of knowing that no matter how bad you may have it today, you didn't have it so bad that you had to put stitch flower quilts, bags together to make bedding.
If you haven't guessed by now,
There we go.
Todd isn't really a curator, but housing this museum inside his company warehouse is a reminder of how Black history is also his family's legacy of struggle and success. In East Columbus, Angela Ann, 10 TV News.
Now, Todd is a fifth-generation owner of his company. He credits supporters like the Conway Center for Family Business for guiding his company through their legacy planning. The museum is open by appointment only for now, with plans to expand to school tours in the future.